Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Goldeen Ring, aka Tanner Greenring, and I am joined as always by my co-host, Kadabra, aka Joshua Fielstead. I think I've used that one before.
I don't think in that construction, but I think the name.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
It's a Pokemon podcast. It's the season finale of season 3B, playing through Fire Red and Leaf Green. Just to be completely honest with you, because you are our best friends, all of you bug catchers. We intended to finish off the season last week. Anthony Smith was supposed to be our season finale guest.
Right. We just had a lot of fun.
We just had too much fun, and we decided to chase some waterfalls this week and do the Sevii Islands and Cerulean Cave.
Yeah.
And maybe you noticed, and maybe you tweeted at us very obnoxiously, and if so, fuck you, that we didn't have a You Make Me Barf or Sweetie last week. And it's because we have them this week, and we were planning on doing them last week, but now we're just going to do them this week.
Yeah.
And again, fuck you.
And also, you guys know the Sweeties and the Barfs from these gens. Like, we're very close to going into some new lands, and let's just keep moving the narrative forward.
Yeah.
As a nation.
Keep on keeping on. Joshua, we beat the game last week.
That's right.
We took on the Elite Four. We beat Blaine and Gary and Veronica and
who?
Horace. And we left.
I think it's Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha, Lance, and Gary. But Victoria...
That sounds like Elite Five to me.
Victoria sounds interesting.
I think I said Veronica, but I couldn't remember
Veronica
their names, and
I
didn't want to scroll down in our sheet to discover what their names actually were.
Is that the Archie people? Like the Archie people
the Archie
is
people.
The Elite Four?
Yeah,
they got a Veronica,
it's Archie,
right?
it's Jughead, it's Veronica, it's Betty.
Yeah.
And of course, Bad Josh.
Right.
After that, the game ends. Credits roll.
And what credits they are?
The credits were kind of good. They had like the starter Pokemon and Pikachu kind of as these like colorful splash screens.
Yeah.
And then your little trainer guy like sprinting.
Yeah, and like increasingly
like not the overworld character, but like a animated GIF of your character running.
2D, like a side scroller style, like Metroid style or something.
And then that was it. The end of the game, right? Wrong.
No.
Wrong, idiot. Welcome back to Pallet Town. You wake up in front of your own home.
Yeah.
You walk inside, mom is there.
This is where the trouble starts again.
It's as though you never left in a lot of ways. Because mom's just like, take a rest if you want. And then you wander off, and then Professor Oak comes and catches you, and he says, not too fast, boy.
Yeah.
I have something to show you at my lab. And he takes you back to his lab, and he programs in the national dex into your Pokedex, and Bad Josh is there too, and he's being obnoxious about it.
We won't go into this whole thing. We alluded to it last episode, but he does not program the national dex in until you have 60 Pokemon.
Yes.
Which both of us had to deal with.
This being a Nuzlocke run, at this point in the game, neither of us had encountered or caught 60 Pokemon.
No, I had 45.
So we did have a temporary lift on the Nuzlocke rules so that we could go back and catch some new Pokemon to get up to that 60 mark.
Yeah.
I did that, Josh. I put them all in the last box.
Exiled.
Yeah, and then as soon as I had the National Dex, I released them all. I did not want anything to do with them.
I haven't released them, although they are in an obscure box as well. But I'll release them.
Please do. I think it's irresponsible that you haven't yet.
I am sorry. I realize that now.
And bug catchers, you are granted a temporary reprieve from the Nuzlocke rules this week as well, if you need to.
But I swear to God, I swear to Arceus, if we see any of you people using any of those Pokemon that you caught,
yeah, you're fucking dead to us.
Yeah. Get out of the RSS.
Now we have the National Dex, which means that the world of the Sevii Islands is truly open to us. You fly or bike or journey back to Vermilion, where the boat is, and you get back on using your Tri-Pass, and you end up on one island.
We're back again.
And who do you see there but your old buddy CELIOOOO!
CELIOOOO!
And he is there to take your Tri-Pass away from you and give you a Rainbow Pass.
Yeah, he tells you he must give you a new pass because the internet is down again.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Yeah, what do they got, Spectrum out there? Any
Hell yeah.
little New York East Coast joke? They're probably all over the fucking East Coast. I hate Spectrum.
What do I got? What's Comcast called?
I don't know.
Xfinity. I've got Xfinity.
Oh, Xfinity. That's probably good.
No, it's disappointing.
Okay. They all are.
We paid for extra speed, and it just like they never give us extra speed. And then sometimes it just doesn't fucking work, and we have to unplug our modem.
Oh, yeah. That's like Spectrum.
God, internet's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like, we can't do this? What is everyone, CELIOOO over here? Like, we're not even on the Sevii fucking Islands. We're in a big city. You're out in a, pretty metropolitan state.
We gotta move to Seoul. That's like where they have the good internet.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of work, though.
And they make good zombie movies. You ever seen Last Train to Busan?
No, and in fact, a coworker was just talking to me about that, and I added it to my list because I like Korean cinema in general.
It's a hell of a movie. One of my favorite zombie movies I've ever seen. And it's train-based. And I know you love train movies.
I do love train. I love train movies and
the band.
Trains.
Oh, and the vehicle. Yeah. You love Train the Band.
Not the band. I'll give you the other two.
Oh, you know that song?
Yeah.
Hey, Soul Sister.
It's
called Hey Soul Sister.
Yeah.
Is that Mr. on the radio? You like that one?
No, not particularly.
Jesus, Josh. Sometimes I wonder why we're friends. You love the Chili Peppers.
What's their original one?
Drops of Jupiter in her hair.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Josh loves trains, and trains, and Korean cinema. They're really good at zombie movies, the Korean film industry. I watched the one on Netflix the other day called #Alive.
Whoa. About
a young social media influencer who gets trapped in his home because of zombies and uses his drone to outsmart them.
Okay.
That one was pretty fun.
Let's do that.
What were we talking about? Korean zombie movies?
That CELIOOO's, that the internet's down, and he tells us he needs 2 gems to get it booted back up. A ruby and a sapphire, wink, wink.
The internet in Kanto is gem-based.
Yeah, it's like dark crystal. Here's another one.
Watch that one too. Josh was just recommending that to the D&D group on Slack the other day.
I mean, I loved the movie as a kid, and then I rewatched it a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, the movie's mostly kids-based, but obviously looks fantastic. But the new Netflix series that they just canceled is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's a
Dark Crystal.
Feast for the eyes, and it's got a good plot, and, they scaled the whole thing up. Highly recommend it.
It's all like puppets too, right?
Yeah, it's still Jim Henson's company.
That's cool.
Doing all of it.
So Ruby and Sapphire, you need to go and find them.
Yep.
Do you get it?
Yeah, think about it.
It's the game. And the point is, you were firing up the internet so that you can trade across cartridges with Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, he doesn't really even give you any direction, but you're like, well, I'm on one island, so I guess I have to check this out again.
And you make your way up to Mount Ember.
Yeah.
You overhear these 2 rocket cronies sort of arguing with one another. And when you approach them, they battle you, obviously.
They've got some crap.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what they have.
Coughing,
Muck, Arbok.
Zubat.
Yeah.
Rattata. Whatever.
And then once you beat them up, they kind of reveal that they know half the password. It's sort of an elegant system Team Rocket has set up where they only teach half the grunts, half the password, and the other half the grunts, the other half of the password to get into the Team Rocket warehouse where they're supposedly storing these gems or something. I don't know. And then you overhear them talking about the password, and it's Goldine need log.
Which, if you think about it.
Because Goldine need that log.
It's Goldine.
If you know what I mean.
Need log, and it's backwards,
Goldine need log. It's an anagram.
Yeah.
No, not an anagram. A palindrome. Taco cat.
Yeah, it's palindrome, right?
Yeah. So then you walk into the cave, and there's the dang ruby.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, you go through like a few different like little cave designs, and I think there are like slugma in there.
Yeah.
And it's again, the whole Braille thing comes back.
Oh, right. So it's the same thing where there's a room full of like tablets. That's the translation guide. I did the dang work last time we encountered that in Ruby Sapphire. But this time I was just like, I'm not going to do the work of translating all this. I know what it is.
Which is ironic because it meant everything has meaning. Existence has meaning. Being alive has meaning. Have dreams. Use power.
That's cool.
You don't even have to read that. I just looked it up.
Right. This one doesn't do anything.
This one is just a ruby out in the middle of a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you go back to
CELIOOO,
that's when he gives you the rainbow pass, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for this gem, but there's one more that we need to get this Wi-Fi connection back up." And then he gives you this rainbow pass, which unlocks the rest of the islands.
Rainbow pass. Fifth Element.
Actually, yeah.
And this is?
CELIOOOO Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
Multipass.
Multipass. You know this is Multipass. CELIOOOO Dallas, my wife. We're newlyweds. Just met.
That's another great movie. Should put that on my list.
That is a good one. Did you see his last movie?
What is it?
City of 1,000 Cities or whatever?
Oh,
Valerian.
Yeah, Valerian.
City of 1,000 Planets.
I did, and
I want you to be very cautious with your take here.
Well, it was also a feast for the eyes.
It was a feast for the eyes. That's true.
I think my complaint was only that I don't really understand why they even bothered with human actors. So much of it is animated and it looks cool. Like the CGI is great.
Right.
And then you got whoever those two main, the like teens or whatever.
Oh, yeah. They suck.
And they're like actual actors, and it's like, what's the point? Just make the whole thing fucking CGI. It looks cool. It's an interesting story.
I loved that movie.
They take you out of it.
I thought it was very fun and really enjoyed it. And someone had like a hot take at that time, and this is prime like 2016 film content that you've tuned in for, bug catchers, but
apparently
someone had a hot take when that film and Passengers came out, which was that the two lead actors in both films should have been switched.
Oh my God.
Like Passengers is about Chris Pratt being like a creepy like spaceship attendant who like unthaws Jennifer Lawrence and like makes her like gaslights her into falling in love with him on a cryogenic frozen ship.
Passengers was bad.
That
movie fucking sucked.
Was bad.
Yeah. All right.
And Valerian is about these like two swashbuckling like comic book heroes who were supposed to be like handsome and swoon worthy, and they found these two like weaselly teens to play the main actors, and it's like both films would have benefited so much with a swap of the leads.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Fun to think about,
because my main problem was the leads in Valerian, and I mean Passengers, I guess, too.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, that's some more movie talk.
We got the Rainbow Pass and we're headed to 4 Island.
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah, it's the next logical place to go. We've done 1, we've done 2, we've done 3.
4.
Why not head to 4?
Yeah.
There's not a ton here. There's like...
It's like 3 buildings.
And like most of them are about Lorelei from the Elite Four.
Yeah, Lorelei, it's her hometown, apparently.
It set it up in a way where it was like, welcome to 4 Island. Here's Lorelei's house. And also you'll talk to Lorelei and you'll interact with Lorelei. And there's a lot of Lorelei stuff happening here. And I was like, oh, cool. Each member of the Elite Four like lives on and owns one of the final 4 islands of the Sevii Islands. That's interesting. But no, it was just Lorelei.
Yeah, although that would have been kind of cool, but also biased.
Well, maybe it's like it's sort of like this is where the dorms are.
I see. They train here.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they trained here.
It would be cool.
The only other thing is like daycare, which you can breed Pokemon at. Neither of us, I presume, had time to deal with that.
Too little, too late.
Yeah. I dumped Blanca the Doug Trio in here because I was like, if another Pokemon dies, like I got to just have a Doug Trio that's like ready to go. It was already level 52.
Right.
It's still there to this day.
And he'll remain there forever.
Yeah.
Probably at this point.
Yeah, I'm not taking her out. Nah.
But then you make your way up north, or actually it's kind of east, to Icefall Cavern.
Yeah.
And it's a cavern that's full of ice and ice puzzles where you have to slide around.
It's like 3 floors.
Yeah.
Or 3 areas.
This is sort of our first catchable route of this week's leg, Josh. And did you catch anyone here? Mm-hmm. I just really quickly want to say too, before you answer, like, again, went into the Sevii Islands expecting it to be a smorgasbord of hot, fresh new Mon for me to gobble up with my Pokeballs. And it wasn't. A ton of new or interesting Pokemon. Although I think both of us caught some fairly fresh faces in Icefall Cavern.
Yeah, so at this junction, now you can get Gen 2 and Gen 3 Pokemon.
Right, but like there's still plenty of regular old Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, and I would say predominantly it's still them.
Right.
Because in here, fortunately I did not catch one because I wasn't encountered with one first. Didn't encounter one first. It is still mostly fucking like Zubats and Golbats, because it's a cavern, I guess.
Ice cavern, though. I don't think bats live in ice caverns.
They lived in sea foam. I mean, I don't know why they can just live everywhere.
I guess. Anyway, who'd you catch?
I caught a Sneasel, which is actually, I think, quite rare.
Yeah.
Okay. I have something else to say. Sneasel, who I named Hunter after Meadow Soprano's friend growing up.
What does that mean?
It's her friend.
Friend.
It's not sexually. It wasn't like a wink.
You said it in a way like how my grandpa talks about my uncle's boyfriend.
Let me tell you, I would have liked the character Hunter a lot more if that was what was going on. But at this stage, which is going to be a theme, and I think I mentioned that last episode as well, like, this is just whatever is left. I didn't even give a shit, like, who any of these... I cared a little. At least Hunter is, like, a character that I remember. Because Sneasel I debated bringing into the team, to be honest, for a little bit.
What is Sneasel? Ice?
Ice Dark.
Ice Dark. That's kind of
It's
interesting.
a useful combo for your Pokemon, and I figured it would have been useful for Tony's as well. But the one that I got had a modest nature, which upgrades special attack and downgrades attack, and its special attack sucks already. So you need it to be an attack, physical attacker. And so I was like, this thing's going to blow, so I'm out. But I wasn't out in terms of how sweet it was, because this Sneasel is Joshy's sweetie.
Ugh.
And I'm making you confront it, Tanner.
You know how disappointing that is to me. You know I don't like Sneasel.
Look at how festive the sprite is in Gen 3. It's like doing a little twirl. It's got the little like feather situation. It's got a little like saucy little look on its face. I think Sneasel's good. I like Sneasel.
I just like...
Are you looking at it?
I'm looking at it. Here are the things that bother me about Sneasel, and I hope you're open to this conversation.
It's got a gem on in the middle of its
It's got a couple
head,
of
like
gems, which I don't totally understand. What's the gems about? It's got one on its chest, one on its head.
Sure, you asked the same question about a Meowth or a Persian, man. And we like those.
That's like Japanese folklore stuff, okay? And now you're being culturally insensitive.
Actually, I could tell you Sneasel does have a little Japanese folklore, man.
Now you're being culturally insensitive, Josh. Here's the other things I don't like. One big ear, it's red. One little ear that's not red. Why? Third thing, rooster tail.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Fourth thing, it's got sexy girl eyelashes.
Okay.
Why?
Well, now you're being gendered. They could just be sexy eyelashes with some mascara.
You're right. Fine. It's got sexy eyelashes. Why?
I don't know. Maybe wants to look good for the other Sneasels.
I just don't like this thing.
Why can't Sneasels just dress up for, the benefit of their other Sneasels?
Its Gen 2 sprite was really bad, I think, too, which is the reason I didn't like it originally.
The Gen 2 sprite's bad, but Gen 3, I think it's kind of coming into itself.
Yeah, the silver gold sprites are bad.
It's really bad. I'm looking at those again. It barely even looks like what it looks like now.
It looks like a bug.
Like, its colors aren't even the same.
Although I do like the shiny.
Pink and yellow is the shiny one, which is very cool. Pink body, yellow ears.
It's kind of a cool look.
All right, here's the next part. Joshy's Facty.
Right. Yes. This is a segment that Josh ripped off from me, Tanny's Facty.
I came up with it.
Yeah.
Check the tapes. Bugcatchers, I implore you to check the tapes.
And I will have a Tanny's Facty later when I do my You Make Me Barf.
So here's a really surprising one. Sneasel is a combination of Sneaky and Weasel.
I thought it would maybe be a combination of Sneeze and Weasel.
It may also derive from sneeze, an action associated with having a cold or being cold, referring to its ice type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here's where the folklore gets involved. Sneasel may be based on the Kamaitachi.
Kamaitachi, yes.
A type of yokai, often represented as weasel demons with sickles on their front legs, and sometimes understood as the cause of mysterious cuts on the skin, especially in cold weather.
Interesting.
Lots to take in.
My immediate reaction is I don't think I often find myself with mysterious cuts in cold weather.
Right. So that's why it would be very, like, provocative. Like, why is that happening to you?
I guess, if it happened to me, though, but I don't know.
The demon, which is actually pretty cool, it's a weasel demon that looks like it's holding a bunch of knives.
That is cool. Oh, I do like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever play those Yokai Watch games?
No.
They're sort of Pokemon-like.
As I've stated before, in regards to Digimon, I only have space in my life for one Mon, and it's Pokemon.
This game is called Yokai Watch. You walk around trying to catch yokai, but you do so in with mini games.
And yokais are like
They're like
ghosts
fun
or like
demons. Yeah.
Oh, they're
like spirits.
Daedra in
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls. Okay.
Wow. The culture and sensitivity just doesn't stop today.
I am making it a reference to I'm imparting wisdom that people will understand.
You're giving them touch points.
Yeah.
You know the Daedra.
Cultural touch points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught a delibird. Love it. Estraven. Such a cutie.
Oh, yeah.
These little delibirds. Do delibirds evolve in anything?
No.
I hope not. They're kind of perfect the way they are. Just like plump little Santas. Plump little Santa birds with their little sacks and their little beards.
Yeah, I mean, Delibird is those are our equivalents. Actually, that's really festive. We each got our relatively rare version exclusive in there.
Oh, you have Sneasel and I have Delibird.
Yeah, Delibird would have been my sweetie if I had that opportunity.
Yeah, when I caught it, I was like, dang, this thing's a cutie.
Don't sleep on Delibird.
What's he keeping that little sack?
It's bad, though. Very bad stats.
Probably like fish.
Presents. His or her special move is, isn't it like present? It's just present.
It's probably like fish. It's like fish heads, and he's just like a little cutie, and he's like, here's your present, and it's just a fish head.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know better, right?
No.
He just gives you whatever he's got, and what he's got is fish heads. So then you make your way up through Icefall Cavern. You encounter Lorelei watching on as a couple of Team Rocket grunts get up to bad business.
Yeah.
And she says, hey, you take the one on the right, I'll take the one on the left.
Yeah, she's accusing them of trying to steal Pokemon to, like, sell them.
Let's murk these two.
And we did.
I think she wanted to kill him.
We had to stop her. She wanted to just fucking murder him and toss him up in the cavern.
There's like a little like cave lake here.
Yeah.
Frozen cave lake. And she wanted to like trap him under the ice and drown him.
Yeah, she's like, you saw those Delibird fish heads?
Yeah.
Let's make sure the next present that comes out is a couple of these rocket grunt heads.
Jesus. She said that to you?
Yeah.
She didn't say that to me.
She's cold-blooded.
You beat him.
Cold-blooded killer.
And then that's it. It's kind of uneventful.
Yeah, it doesn't like clearly ladder up into anything. It's just like a little side quest, and then
Just sort of happens.
That's 4 Island for you.
Yeah. So then you take off and you go to 5 Island next because it's the logical thing to do.
Yeah, you're basically just searching for like, you know, what's the next clue to get this other gem.
Right.
So you just keep hitting the islands.
There's a lot to do in 5 Island.
Yeah, 5 Islands lit. It's like a tiny town, but it's got a bunch of areas secretly.
What is there? There's the town.
For now, we can only access the meadow, but later on, we're going to come back.
Right. So we can access the meadow and we can access... Can we get to Team Rocket warehouse at this point?
We can only get to the front. We can't get in because we don't have the
Can't
other
get in because
code.
you don't have the password, right? So then you know what you got to do is turn around and go find that other password. And where are you going to go next? 6 Island. But first, Josh, did you catch anyone on the 5 Island meadow?
I caught a slowpoke.
Okay, and what's it called?
Angie something. I don't know.
Is that even a...
Some sideshow character.
Okay. I caught a Sentret named Merlin. It was cool to see a Sentret here.
Merlin.
And the Sentret sprite is good in this game.
The Sentret sprite's very good, although I will say I had a couple of double takes because I was like, that looks slightly off color, and I actually thought it was a shiny originally.
Yeah.
The color between the shiny and the normal Sentret is very negligible.
Oh yeah, it's pretty close.
If you don't miss the little, shine animation in the split second, then you have no idea.
I had a similar encounter with a Pokemon a little later that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Based on its color, I thought it was a shiny, but it was not. It's just like the vast difference between gold and silver and fire red in this color palette for this sprite just threw me off. It was Hoppip. I don't know why I'm speaking such shady terms.
Yeah, none of it is a surprise anymore.
The Hoppip I encountered later.
We all have Hoppips here.
It was like this shade of pink where I was like, I don't remember it being this pink. Is this a shiny? And then I went and looked up and I was like, no, they're just pretty inconsistent with their color palettes across games.
Right.
the shiny Hoppip is green. So anyway, that's all we can do on 5 Island. And Joshua, I would love to talk about what we did on 6 Island. Because that's where we're headed next.
But something is holding you up?
After this break.
Okay.
Joshua, we leave 5 Island in search of the second part of the Rocket Warehouse password. By the way, welcome back, bug catchers.
Welcome back.
We make our way to 6 Island, next in the line. 6 Island is a fairly robust place with lots of fun little searchable areas.
Yeah, 6 Islands got quite a little village here. It's got a bunch of other islands. It's got a bunch of shit.
Lots of little surfing routes.
I like 6 Island.
6 Island was cool.
I like it a lot.
I like 6 Island.
Yeah.
I found my way to the water path first, which is a catchable route. Did you catch anyone interesting?
This is where I got Centret.
Ah, okay. Boring.
Because Waterpath has actual surfing area, but then it also has
Like
grass.
little
And fortunately,
patches of grass.
I hit
Yeah.
the grass before another fucking tentacool bothered me.
Me too. I got an oddish.
Oh, look at you. How many odysseys is that? 4?
I think 3. Well, 1 died, remember?
Oh, that's right.
David D. Candine is what I've written here.
David Canadine.
David Canadine, yeah. There was not enough room to write all that, so I just wrote D. Candine.
He is a brilliant historian.
Let me guess, he talks about Queen Elizabeth and some other British bullshit.
No, British,
So World War II.
but modern era focus and best known for his class studies and maritime
Winston
history.
Churchill stuff.
Well, he's written about Churchill, sure, but
You
I
could
know
just say
him
yes.
for his work on the Battle of Trafalgar and his bio of Admiral Lord Nelson,
Yeah, okay.
Horatio Nelson, whose victory there during the Napoleonic Wars is one of the most famous in maritime history, and it's why there's a Trafalgar Square honoring Nelson in London.
And former Pokemon of
Nelson
yours.
column.
I don't remember who Lord Nelson was.
No, I don't think so. Maybe season 1?
Nelson or Nelson?
His name's Horatio Nelson.
I was checking the Josh's Beloved doc to see if you maybe put it here, but no, it was Lord Palmerston here.
Yeah, and Palmerston was a British PM in the Victorian era.
I guess Lord Nelson we've just never explored. I could have sworn. So familiar to me, that name.
Maybe you've heard of him because he's one of the most famous admirals ever.
I haven't heard that name in 15 years. So you get past the water route and you make your way,
I think south, yeah.
and then you find your way to Ruin Valley,
Ruin Valley.
which is
Chock full of these ruin maniacs.
Yep, and the dotted hole.
Yeah. I don't have a joke prepared for that.
There's more Braille here, and this is where you learn you need to use the move cut to get through the door.
Yeah.
And once you do, you encounter the sapphire. It's sitting there in the middle of the room. It looks cool. You go to grab it, and when you try to grab it, a scientist grabs it instead of you.
Yes.
And he reveals that he is a rocket grunt
Yeah.
and knows the other half of the password, which is yes, nah, chancy.
Yes, nah, chancy.
Yes, nah, chancy. The C is shared. It's one of those palindromes where the middle letter is shared.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Like Ava, my sister.
Sure.
So he makes off with the sapphire, and you realize you're going to have to chase that little villain down to the rocket warehouse to finally recover this sapphire for CELIOOOO.
CELIOOOO.
Speaking of CELIOOOO, I had a catch here, Joshua, which was Natu.
I wanted one of those because a flying psychic would have bailed me out. That would have helped me in our battle last week.
Funny, silly little psychic bird, flying psychic, and his name is Doug Butabi.
Oh, of the...
Some newcomers to the Josh's Beloved list.
Any relation to Steve Butabi?
Let me see. Who did I name Steve Butabi?
Your brothers?
No. Yes.
Yes. Works every time.
So I caught a Natu. I boxed him. I would have loved to have played around with him a little, but at that point on my team I already had an Alakazam, and I was just like, I don't think I need a flying psychic on my team as well.
Yeah. I got a Meryl.
That's cute.
Fun. It's too late. I'm not interested, but I named it Butch, which I thought was funny.
That is funny. Who's Butch?
Butch.
You don't even know anymore.
Butch Don Concini.
I know I asked, but I actually don't even care.
I mean, we're in the New York mafia family at this point, man. Like,
And then, so we had updated the catchable route list to kind of catch all of these little, because previously we had just listed like
oh yeah,
4 island, 5 island, 6 island, but now we kind of caught all these new little areas within the Sevii Islands.
there are a lot.
And you had listed this one called Green Path / Pattern Bush as a catchable area, and I swear to God, Josh, I just never found it.
You never found the whole area?
Never encountered it once.
Okay.
It's a glaring omission on my catchable routes list.
Green Path and Pattern Bush is like far to the north. It's like north past the water path.
Oh, okay.
So the thing, bug catchers, if you haven't done the Sevii Islands, like a lot of this is like you could just look at the water that's right next to, you know, the landmass, and you can't always tell if it's like obviously going to lead somewhere.
And sometimes when you try to surf, you can surf and go find like a whole new area. And sometimes when you try to surf, it says the currents are too strong here.
Right.
And you can't surf at all. And there's no rhyme or reason to like where you can and cannot surf and where you can and cannot find these paths to new places.
Yeah.
And I did not find this one, Green Path / Pattern Bush. What's up there?
Not much. There's a lot of trainers in the Pattern Bush, and it's basically a layout like Route 11, I believe, like the one that's east of Vermilion, where it's like a well trimmed path, like a park, basically.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of like aroma ladies and bug catchers.
Aroma Ladies is sort of a weird... Aroma Ladies is sort of... It feels almost like a mistranslation.
Yeah.
What does Aroma Ladies mean?
They like flowers.
Okay.
They're always around flowers.
I like flowers.
And they usually comment on your smell or the smell of your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of them in here is like, you smell like sweaty Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And I probably would at this point in my journey.
who are you? Who are you, fucking lady?
They have these little sparkles around them, too. Like they're enchanted.
Yeah, they kind of have the petal dance, like, petals around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Aroma ladies are a mysterious trainer type.
I like them, but they're weird.
Yeah.
I like that they nag me constantly.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you stink. It's like, ooh. Yeah.
I'll show you what stinks.
Do you catch anyone up here?
Yeah, I caught a Caterpie.
Boring.
There's Heracrosses in there, which is like so infuriating. Because I would have loved... Heracross would have also bailed me out last week.
Now I'm seeing in this fucking dock that you've got another area here that I just didn't see or hear about. Outcast Island?
Yeah, so that one is like west of the Pattern Bush Green Path.
God, I missed so much.
You can't do anything there, though, and it's a little lazy, I'll admit, that they even kept it in the US release, because apparently Outcast Island and Altering Cave is the other part of it, was an area that we triggered by using Mystery Gift, and it would trigger different Pokemon to spawn in there, so sort of similar to how like Mystery Gift or whatever it was called in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon functioned.
Okay.
Wonder Mail. It was like Wonder Mail.
Yeah.
And so just Pokemon from the whole world would show up in it. But in the US version, they never made that functionality, so you go to this spot and you just wander around in a cave that has literally nothing in it.
Is there any catchable areas there?
No, there's no, because they didn't program it. So it's just a cave system that you can wander around that Pokemon don't trigger. There's no items.
Stupid.
Yeah, it sucked.
But we got what we came for, which is the other half of the password for Rocket Warehouse. So back to 5 Island, past the meadow,
Yep.
and to Rocket Warehouse.
Rocket Warehouse.
Which is just another fucking Team Rocket hideout with all the same Team Rocket tricks. It's like conveyor belt floors that whirl you around.
Yeah, it's like Silphco.
Yeah, and grunts with all the same stupid, boring Pokemon like Mucks and Weezings and Coughings and Cobras, Arboks. It's boring. And then at the end, there's like an upstart, like some guy who's like trying to step into Giovanni's shoes, and he keeps talking about how like Giovanni is unstoppable, and apparently the news about Giovanni hasn't reached Sevii Islands yet.
Yeah, that's a funny piece of programming, because it's like, oh, it's not Team Rocket like starting up anew. It's that all of these people are so isolated that they didn't get the news that Team Rocket's through.
Right.
So you break the news to these like acolytes.
You break it to him in the most brutal way possible by killing his Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh shit, Giovanni's really dead, isn't he? And you're like, yeah. And then
he runs away, and then you fight that scientist at the end of it who stole
yes,
the gem, which is a sapphire.
Yep, and then you get the sapphire. You also get Sledge Bomb in here.
Yeah, which is crucial to my gameplay because that's what I taught Venusaur.
Yeah.
Sludge Bomb is a great move.
Right, and it didn't help you last week when I beat you.
Okay, well, maybe it could this week if you want to battle.
We're not going to battle. We're not going to battle, though. You flipped a coin and you got tails, remember? So, sounds like our battling is
And
done
now
for
you're
the season,
just
and I'm
too
kind of
chicken.
the grand champion.
Two Combuskin to take up my challenge.
I'm retiring while I'm on top. Mm-hmm. So then there's still more to do here in Five Island if you're interested in doing it. There's lots of catchable routes.
Yeah.
The first thing you kind of encounter is this squiggly shaped island with a little pillar of rocks sticking out of it.
Memorial pillar.
And it's there in honor of
Perhaps Lord Nelson?
an onyx
Nelson call
that is named, God, it's got the dumbest name. Now I can't remember what it is.
I don't remember either.
It was so bad. It was like ripped right out of like 2003.
Okay, let's get that.
Tectonics
Tectonics.
with an X.
Very cool.
So this trainer lost his onyx named Tectonics and built a memorial to it, and then
Well, you can leave I read this. I didn't do this.
I didn't do this either.
You can leave a lemonade at the foot of it to get TM42, which is facade.
Not interested.
There's also metal coat nearby, which is interesting because it's like, oh, was the trainer going to evolve the onyx into a steelix and then it got killed or whatever?
Could be like a Full Metal Alchemist thing where he's trying to like put Onyx's soul into like a
Ooh, yeah.
metal suit of armor.
That'd be cool.
Did you catch anyone out here?
Hoppip.
Oh, cute. Hoppip.
Agent Skip, because it evolves into Skiploom. It never will be, but
I caught a Hoppip.
yeah, Hoppip.
We actually did this a little bit out of order. I did the water labyrinth first and caught a Hoppip there too. So by the time I made it over to Memorial Pillar and caught another Hoppip, I was like, well, I'm certainly not going to have one Hoppip on my team, and I'm never going to have two Hoppips on my team.
Yeah.
So I named this one Hoppip. The first one I named Murakami.
Great author.
And that's on Water Labyrinth, which is sort of the route that's west of Five Island.
Yeah, and Water Labyrinth is the one that I did not partake in.
There's not much here. There's like an old man out there who, gosh, what does he do? Now I can't remember what he does. Let me go look real quick.
I feel like I would have found my way there if it really mattered.
Oh, he gives you a Togepi egg,
I don't care.
which is like, we can't even take it. It's not part of the rules.
Keep your
What's a Mr. Mime going to do with a Togepi egg? Eat it, probably accidentally,
keep your goddamn egg.
right? He wouldn't know. He's a Mr. Mime.
No.
He would probably do it in front of the man. The man would hand him his egg. He'd be like, this is my prize Togepi. And Mr. Mime would just be like, ow.
Oh, thank you. I am famished.
He's nonverbal, by the way. I don't know if I ever explained that.
You didn't actually.
He can only say Mr. Mime.
That's a season finale reveal.
He's a Pokemon. All he can say is variations of Mr. Mime. He can be like, Mr. Mime.
So when he gets the egg, he goes mime.
Mime.
It's
And then
mine.
he eats it.
And then he just
And
eats
the old man's just horrified.
Whatever. Togepi sucks.
Whatever. And then there's another couple like spots here. There's Resort Gorgeous, which is a very cool name.
This is great. This is where my aforementioned in the previous episode, my Octillery Gabriella, I caught Remoraid here because there's like an island that has a crush trainer or an aroma lady. I don't know. You know these crush trainers as well?
Yeah.
They're just like fitness heads.
Yep.
And I made it there and I saw that it triggered Resort Gorgeous as like the area technically. Popped a line, Remoraid, baby.
That's cool. I caught a Quillfish, which is also sort of interesting, but like...
Oh, I think that's your version exclusive, so...
Quillfish is kind of boring because it doesn't evolve in anything.
Yeah.
It's just an ugly little fish.
I don't think Quillfish is good.
But it's rare, so it was kind of interesting to see. And its name is Marlon James.
Also, another great author. Black Leopard, Red Wolf.
And then the last spot on this island, on Five Island, is Lost Cave, which is kind of a Lost Woods
Yeah.
from Ocarina of Time style puzzle.
Yeah.
Where you can go east, north, south, or west and sort of see repeated spots over and over again. But every now and then you can find your way to a place that has like a Pokeball or something.
Rare candies.
Oh, I got sea incense,
Yeah, there's incense, that's right.
which is kind of cool. It seems like it does the same thing as Mystic Water, which I already had, so I didn't really need it. But and then there's also a lady down here.
Lady Selfie. Who is the proprietor of Resort Gorgeous, which
Yeah.
seemingly is just her house, and then it has a bunch of like trainers around it. like aroma ladies and shit.
After you rescue her, she ends up back at Resort Gorgeous. You can kind of interact with her, but
Yeah, you fight her. She's got 2 Persians.
it was weird.
I made a ton of money here. She gives you like 10 grand, and I had the amulet coin at this point.
Yeah.
I got 20 grand out of her, and then I think I got another like 15 or 18,000 out of like the 2 aroma ladies who are on the island that Resort Gorgeous is on. But what's going on Resort Gorgeous? Is this like a cult thing, a sex thing?
It's probably like a sex thing. It's probably like a thing where they like kidnap young people from around the world and like hunt them.
Yeah.
Like Hostel. Did you see that movie?
No.
Oh, it's good.
It's our movie episode.
Yeah, it's a movie episode.
Let's get David Sims back in here.
Hostel. It's a horror movie. It's about teens getting lost in Eastern Europe, and then they kind of end up in this torture dungeon where rich people torture and kill them for fun. And then 2 of them escape, and God, it's a romp. It's really gory.
Budget 4.8 million, box office 80.6. Now that is a return.
It was one of Eli Roth's very first movies.
Written by Eli Roth, produced by Eli Roth, directed by Eli Roth. Wow.
I think it was one of his first movies. It's extremely gory, but kind of fun.
All right, well, there's another recommendation for you all, bug catchers.
What were we talking about? Horror movies. No, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That's it for 5 Island. Then you got your gems, and you make your way back to 1 Island, and you give CELIOOO the
CELIOOO.
Sapphire as well, and the internet is working, and you can now trade between Ruby and Sapphire carts and Leaf Green and Fire Red carts if you want to, and if you have both, and if you have 2 Game Boys, which I do, but I didn't do any trading.
I only have 1 Game Boy, and I'm not interested, so I didn't do any of that. But it leaves 1 island that we never had to go to. Did you go to 7 Island?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I caught Pokemon out here. You can see on the sheet.
Got a lot of my fucking training done.
Yeah.
7 Island is the end of the line, and it's just got this, I think it's the highest level, like, normal trainers that you can fight. So it's this great, like, training zone.
Yep. And there's a ton of people out here.
There's also a move tutor on the bridge that goes into the Sevalt Canyon who can teach you swords dance.
Does he also eat mushrooms, or is it a different one?
I don't know if that's the proper term, but that's what they've been littered throughout the land, where they just will teach you a move.
In the parlance of Morrowind, they would be called trainers.
Okay, yeah.
They train moves to you.
Yeah.
I didn't do Swords Dance. I don't think I would have a Pokemon that's eligible for it.
My only one would be Gyarados, but he has Dragon Dance, and it's a superior dance.
Wait, is Dragon?
Dragon Dance.
Yeah. You've written down here Trainer Tower, and I don't know what that means.
I didn't go there.
I didn't either. Canyon
Trainer
entrance.
Tower is north. Trainer Tower is north of the main island, and it's the same shit with, what was it, Battle Tower in Hoenn?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You don't get experience. You don't get money. You get, like, random items. I don't care.
Not interesting. Maybe it would have been interesting in 2004, like, if this is the only Pokemon game I had and I had to wait, like, 2 years before another one to come out.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it would have been interesting then. I just wanted more Pokemon, but I got places to be. I've got Gales to Darkness, and I've got Colosseums to Pokemon. So
Absolutely.
not interested in Trainer Tower, but I am interested in Sevalt Canyon. There are 2 catchable routes here. There's the canyon entrance.
It's its own thing for some reason.
And I caught a delightful little Pokemon that I honestly had to sit and think about whether or not I wanted to spend hours leveling.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, wouldn't it be fun if I brought this to the final battle to replace Kangaskhan?
Who was it?
It is a Phampi.
Phampi. So sweet.
Who I named POTUS.
Oh, my big old cat.
Yeah.
Phampi. That's good. Very good.
And I thought it would be so fun to bring a Phampi to this battle with Tony and Josh.
That
But then
would
I was
have been
like,
fun.
I don't have the man hours to level this thing right now.
This was the stage when I was here originally that I was, like, hoping I would get a Phampi at some point, because I was going to do it, actually.
Yeah.
Dawn fan. But I got a Fearow.
I had just gotten done, like, power leveling a goddamn Tangela.
Right.
Like, one of the worst Pokemon I've ever brought into the final battle. And I just didn't have the stomach for leveling a Phampi too. So, who'd you catch?
Fearow.
Okay, rest in petals.
Polly
Walnuts.
This one's Little Polly.
Is that an actual character from Sopranos,
Yeah,
or someone
it
you
is.
made up?
No, it is.
It's fitting.
Yeah.
So then you make your way out of the canyon entrance and into the canyon itself, and there's a lot going on here. There's a ton of trainers.
Yeah.
There's some catchable roots. I caught a Skarmory, who I named Riley.
Oh, that's my childhood cat. One of them.
Yeah.
And then I caught Cubone, who I named Rusty Milio.
Rusty Milio. And then...
No idea who that fucking character even is.
I do have a trainer danger here who you've also noted.
Oh, do we want to do an actual trainer danger?
I think so.
Let's
I think
issue
it's
it.
appropriate here. Yeah.
Don't know what his name is. Trainer danger for this Chancy Dance guy.
There's one structure here
Down at the southernmost point of Sevii Island.
in all of Sevii Canyon, and it's a house. And you walk in, and it's notable. Like, I don't walk into every house. The houses are boring.
You don't even walk into every house.
No.
See what's in there?
The house.
I barge in every
this
house.
one's out in the middle of nowhere, and you walk in, and there's this creep there, an old man.
The old man with the wide legs, like cowboy-esque kind of one, and he's bald, and it's sort of like, wow.
And he says some bullshit to you, and then he turns off the lights. Or no, sorry.
I don't know if I remember that detail.
Oh, no, he does. He says some bullshit to you, and then you have to dance with him.
Yeah, he does a little dance.
He's like, dance with me.
It's got, like, music. And then he goes, will you dance with me?
Yeah.
And you can say yes or no, by the way.
Yes.
So it's consensual dancing.
But I obviously clicked yes.
Yeah, me too.
And then you dance a little, and then the lights turn off, and the screen goes black. And when the screen comes back up, you're alone in the house with the man and a Chansey.
Yeah, and it does
He's
a
just
little,
sitting
like,
there watching you.
a whole thing going on.
And he's like sort of clapping. Yeah, I don't know. He's got some kind of weird relationship with Chansey that I'm not interested in exploring.
Your Pokemon and yourself, probably in some ways, mentally, physically, unclear, end up healed.
Yeah, it's because you're trapped in a dream world now.
It's Chansey Dance land.
You're trapped in the Gale Eternal.
Yeah.
It's very creepy, and it's my trader danger of the week. There's one other area that you've noted here on Sevii Island. Did not encounter it. Did not care to encounter it. It's
Tanobi
called
Ruins is south of there.
Tanobi Ruins.
You can unlock finding unknowns here.
Ugh, nope.
Not interested, man. It's a fucking pass.
Tanobi Ruins, more like Tanope Ruins, because I'm out of here.
To know by Ruins.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Yours was good too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it for the Sevii Islands. Pretty boring.
It's like a window dressing, it's basically just a means of delivering you more trainers.
I'm like waiting for these endgame scenes to be a little more interesting.
Yeah.
But like we've had two pretty robust endgames now in Gold and Silver and now Fire Red and Leaf Green. Ruby and Sapphire had endgames too, but they were not all that interesting. It was mostly just Battle Tower, right?
Yeah.
But both of those endgames, like even Gold and Silver, which is like you go back to Kanto and you relive Kanto. It was like pretty bad.
Yeah, because it was like run down Kanto.
And this one is pretty bad too. It's just like I'm not looking for a full robust game experience, but I'm looking for something a little bit better than just like a bunch of boring Pokemon on a bunch of boring islands. But whatever. It was cool. I had fun.
Yeah, it's basically like different venues to like deliver you some EXP, but it's sort of like, I guess benefit of the doubt at the time, it would have been good if you're training to battle your friends.
Yeah.
It gives you more interesting environments, but now it doesn't really hold up.
Yeah. We should also say at this point, you can also go back and face off against the Elite Four too.
Yeah.
I think you can do that once you get the Rainbow Pass.
I didn't do it just because I looked up what their levels are, and I think my whole team or half my team probably would have died.
All right, so the last thing is an old favorite of most Pokeheads who've followed us on this journey before, and it's Cerulean Cave, aka Mystery Cave, or Mystery.
I think it was originally the Unknown Dungeon.
Yeah.
At least back when I was banging.
Right outside of Cerulean City, which we've been here before. We're here again. It's a big, nasty cave full of high-level Pokemon.
Yeah.
I caught a Kadabra. Named Zach Cram.
Childhood friend.
Yeah.
How far into the list did you make it? I feel like you're really
Let's go look.
near the end.
Well, I think sometimes I forgot to note.
You used Uncle Steve twice.
Okay,
which
see, that's what I mean.
I
Like
called
sometimes
out.
sometimes I forgot to like note when I used a name. So it's like in here it apparently I still have Winston Churchill available, but I'm pretty sure I used Churchill.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
But he's obviously been in the series before, so.
I have Shad available.
Shad.
Shad.
It's a rapper.
I have Robert D. Kaplan, but I'm pretty sure I used Kaplan before too. And Marlon James, who I also think I used.
You just used Marlon James in this episode.
Oh, I forgot to note it. And then I have Mitchell, a cat of yours growing up.
Another childhood cat, yeah.
And I have Charlie Klein.
Current, I guess all of them are, but childhood friend as well.
And then I have Chris,
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Steve's girlfriend.
I haven't gotten to the bottom of the polyamorous thing yet, but keep you updated, bug catchers.
Someone posted a very funny meme on the Bug Catcher subreddit.
Yeah, I'll give actually, I just saw that. Let's give an on-air shout out to this excellent meme by Side Item.
We'll post it on Twitter too, so by the time this comes out, you will have seen it.
Yeah, very good. Very good meme about me bringing up the polyamorous thing at Thanksgiving.
Cerulean Cave is kind of a little bit of a beast. You got to get through. There's a lot of tough Pokemon in here. Did you catch anyone here?
No.
Okay.
I encountered an Electrode who promptly explosioned.
And killed someone?
No, although I thought it might actually happen because it was Dr. Melfi up front, the Magneton. So like low health, low defense.
Right.
Took half the health, but hadn't done any other moves. It just like popped up and like immediately popped explosion.
Prick.
And it was great. I'm not fucking interested, so go fuck yourself, Electrode.
But I made my way to the end of the cave, and I encountered a Pokemon who is actually my... You make me barf Pokemon of the week.
God, you're not going to pull this again, are you?
And it's Mewtwo.
Uh-huh.
The 16-bit sprite does Mewtwo no favors. It looks like he has a big purple dick hanging out between his legs and going back between his legs.
Maybe that's no favors to you.
I have a Tanny's Facty here,
Okay.
if you're open to it.
And this is
right from
again
Bulbapedia.
from Bulbapedia. Yeah.
Yeah, I just copy and pasted this right from Bulbapedia. Mewtwo is a combination of Mew and 2.
Because it's the second Mew. It's a clone. Yeah.
It's definitely just Mew and 2. It's a clone of Mew. The second Mew. Mewtwo.
Yeah.
And that's right from Bulbapedia.
Sure, that sounds fine.
Mewtwo may be based on the Ushiromuki no Pinusu. Ushiromuki no Pinisu. A type of yokai that had a large purple phallus growing out of its crotch and backwards between its legs. It's also got a luscious thick butt and weird ball fingers. It's gross to look at, even though it's some people's favorite Pokemon.
Me, people.
So that's right from Bulbapedia, and that's Tanner's Facty, and that's
Okay, well,
Cerulean Cave. What was your encounter with Mewtwo like? Anything interesting happen?
I left him alone. I'm going to leave him alone because I'm going to...
I killed him.
Once this episode's over, I'm going to go capture him and keep him because the Nuzlocke run is done.
I would love for you to figure out a way in the near future to catch all the available Mewtwo's possible and make a 6-person all Mewtwo team for an upcoming season, if you could.
I am capable of doing that.
Not yet, maybe.
I will be capable.
You will be capable of it.
Once we get up to like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Oh,
I would love to see that. That would be so fun. You just have an all Mewtwo team.
And with Pokemon Home, baby. Ooh.
I killed it.
But we had to raise the level cap. The reason I can't ever use them is because they're level 70.
I killed it, which was my goal. Mr. Mime is terrified of Mewtwo.
He
His
definitely
one
should be.
goal, his one ambition was to kill Mewtwo, and he did it. So that's it. That's Cerulean Cave. That's Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. We still have a little bit of business to do, which is talking about our level check. I didn't think we needed to do level check this week because my levels remained unchanged from last week when we battled Tony.
Yeah.
I told Josh as we were sitting down today that my Game Boy has been sitting here next to my recording station since we recorded last week. I have not picked it up once. I thought we were done. I didn't think we'd have to do any more leveling.
Yep.
So here's my levels, same as last week.
It's level check.
Oh, sorry, it's level check. Loki, Arcanine, level 67. Mewtwo, Alakazam, level 64. Link, Tangela, level 62. Uncle Steve, Poliwrath, level 63. Mike Healed, Machamp, level 64. Maggie, Dugong, level 63. Josh?
So, Bugcatchers, as you know, we have to flip a coin every episode to see whether or not we battle. And I at least factored that in going into this week that we would potentially battle. The heads have been popping off this season. I got a Tails.
Yeah, so no battle.
And I tried to issue another challenge to Tanner to try...
No battle.
Try
the results
on a
will
team.
stand from last week.
Try out a team that's got similar levels to him, and he's rejected my offer.
Your team last week had similar levels to me.
No, it's barely. You're still higher than me.
Anyway, the results stand from last week. We did roll a tail, so we can't battle this week. Sorry. It's unfortunate. It would have been fun to see what our teams could do against one another, but we're just not there.
My Pokemon are all retired because they're all level 65. My entire team. Tony Soprano, Venusaur, Carmelo, Ninetales, Silvio Gyarados, Gabriella Octillery, Dr. Melfi, Magneton.
How many hours
Bobby
did you spend?
Executive.
How many hours did you spend leveling your entire team up to 65? Pointlessly.
Additional 3, probably.
Pointlessly.
Oh, my total hours, by the way, 69. I didn't aim for that, but
Hell yeah!
ended up at 69.
Oh, my batteries are dead.
All right, well.
My Game Boy's been sitting down here for a week. My batteries are completely dead.
All right, well.
Duh.
I've uploaded my whole team to Pokemon
For
Showdown.
this season, I am the Grand Supreme Champion, and I will be for time immemorial. So.
Well, also, as we established episodes ago, this whole season is actually a dreamscape, and the results of the battles don't count because it's a Nuzlocke, and we didn't even have level caps, so some people, most people, would say there's no champion this season, actually.
Maybe next
And none of it counts.
season we'll do a best of, and where we each pick our favorite team that we've developed so far, and we'll battle those teams.
Maybe.
That's it, though. We're not battling.
I guess not. Because
We shan't be battling.
Tanner's being a little combuskin.
I'm not being a buskin. I'm being a champion. I'm a Pokemon champion. I guess you forgot what that's like because you haven't been a Pokemon champion in some time.
I was earlier in
Maybe
3A.
season 1?
I was in 3A. 3A, I became the
I don't remember
champion.
Anyway, bug catchers, thank you for joining us this week. Please do, if you haven't yet, pick up Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon Gale of Darkness, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness on GameCube and a GameCube too, if you don't have one, because who the hell has a GameCube anymore?
Other than me.
And me now.
And by the way, the final kill counts.
Oh, sure.
I had 7.
I had 8.
Okay.
Not as bad as I thought it would be.
So you had more deaths than me.
Yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be like 20.
I thought it'd be higher. Yeah.
Yeah. But not too bad. A lot of those were pretty low level Pokemon. The ones that really hurt were like Gyarados and Charmeleon, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was definitely the Elite Four run where I lost Fearow and Primeape. I mean, the Primeape in particular was a fucking
that's
devastating
tough. That was
situation.
early on. So anyway, please do join us for those games. We will tell you in the near future what our plan is for breaking those games up into episodes so you can play along if you'd like. Do follow us on social media at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
Check out the subreddit.
Yes.
Reddit.com/r/bugcatchers.
Rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and please only leave 4 stars or better and leave a review. It really does help.
Still not sure about the 4-star thing, but 4 or 5 is good.
Please do leave a 5-star review only. If you're not interested in leaving a 5-star review, do not leave a review at all. Joshua, thank you for joining me. Bug catchers, thank you for joining us. We will see you next week for Experience Share Season 3 GC, starting with Pokemon Colosseum.
I can't wait.
Goodbye, Josh.
Hope you can all wait. And until then, I'll... Oh, I saw this from Greg/Gary/Bad Josh on the islands. He said, be smelling ya.
Jesus, that's so cool. He says some cool shit. He always says, instead of smell you later, he just says, smell ya.
Yeah.
But now he's saying, be smelling ya.
Be smelling ya. So I'm going to try that out this week. Be smelling ya.
Be smelling ya. I love that.